And James has come into the podcast
Kicking
studio.
a bouncy ball.
It's been signed by someone.
Someone, I don't know who signed it. It says
Best wishes.
Pele.
Squiggle. You notice Pele?
Joe.
When he's in Brazil, obviously, and all the different TV companies from around the world have all interviewed Pele.
Yeah.
And they've all said, what do you think whether it's whichever country what do you think our chances are? And he just says, you've got a great chance to everyone. To everyone.
Brilliant diplomat.
Yeah. Just says.
He also is very careful to make sure that every single nation on earth has a player that's the greatest he ever came across. In that
really? Does he?
Just so they feel good, yeah.
Just to include everyone.
You just remember someone. Good show today, lads. I felt very steady.
It was.
Very steady. I felt we kept focused on England. I'm a bit jittery, lads.
It's going to be a long wait.
It's such a long wait till 11 o'clock.
I know.
It reminds me of I don't know, like Christmas Eve when you're about 6.
Are you going to have a few drinks?
Definitely.
You're going to be crawling around your living room like Iker Casillas.
I just hope I'm awake for it.
You're going to be doing the Casillas crawl by 11 o'clock.
The Casillas crawl. It's just such a long time, isn't it? 11 o'clock now. You got this real. I never thought of this whole countdown.
I've got the Red Arrows.
And then there's the Ivory Coast Japan game at 2 a.m. as well.
I'm going to see the Red Arrows this afternoon.
You booked the Red Arrows. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Well, I've booked them in, like you said.
Have you booked them in at your house?
Just
to fill in some time. Nice.
Just to go over your house.
Just give you a bit of adrenaline.
The in-laws live next to Biggin Hill, so you'll be sitting there and the Spitfire will come over.
Well, that means you get the circling patterns. Just planes going round and round, with pilots trying to make out they're not going round and round.
I love the sound of a piston engine aircraft going overhead.
Oh, I love that.
I really do.
What is that sound?
Well, I don't know. It's just I live near a small airport, and you just hear them on a summer day. You just think you're sort of in wartime Britain.
Yeah, it's a lovely place to be. It's a lovely place to be. Well, you're imagining Spitfire versus Messerschmitt over Kent. You're just watching that as a young schoolboy before going.
It's very romantic.
Sure. Yeah, it is romantic. James, any other comments? Or do you want to roll in with the podcast?
I'm still fascinated as we talk about why it's called finals. Could you explain what it was? No, but why is it? It doesn't. Because
you've reached the finals. These are the 32.
There's more than one game.
Okay. If you imagine the Miss World pageant, right?
That's the Miss World final.
No, you get through to the finals of Miss World.
No, you get through to the final.
No, the finals. It's the finals, and then you have the final.
I tell you what, we've got to look out for.
No, I wouldn't want to go that.
We've got to look out for this World Cup, Johnny. We've got to look out for the regional England flags to see where they're from.
And do you know what the best one is? The one that makes me so proud to be British, to be English. It's really weird. I went to England, Portugal, in Germany, and I looked up and I got a photograph of it, and I just saw the flag of St George up there, and written along it is "She stood there laughing." Stoke City fans. But the point is any nation that can, where you've got a human being that sits there to make a flag that just says why we appreciate that. She stood there laughing.
We'll have to collect them.
What is the line? What is it?
She stood there laughing from Delilah.
Right.
And it was just, and I suddenly thought, God, the English.
Well, we'll have to get people to
we're a great
message
bunch.
us the best ones.
That song was written by the bloke who wrote the Leeds United song. Did you know that?
Was it?
Oh, shut up.
He was. No, it was.
That's
true.
the podcast.
That's true.
Good morning. Welcome to the warm-up with me, Johnny Vaughan. On the day when the Spanish wake up with an orange booming hangover, having gone down 5-1.
5-1.
Against the Dutch.
500 to 1, that was.
I'll tell you something, it was all on my prediction sheet. You'd seen the way that had moved on the Chaos Factor, you could have seen that coming.
Is that how it extrapolated?
Easily. They lost it on lower per capita income within that top 10 group. I'm not kidding. It's all on the stats, mate. Seriously. Envy lost in that game. And England get jungle fever as they prepare to face Italy in their opening match of the World Cup. Oh, my God, that game live on TalkSport this evening. We're really into it now. This is it.
Well, apparently
this is it.
The word jungle is politically incorrect.
Is it?
It's supposed to say tropical rainforest.
Is that right?
Apparently.
Okay.
So, welcome to the tropical rainforest, as Guns N' Roses said.
Stop chopping down the jungle. Does that mean I'm on message or not? Leave the Brazilian jungle alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's wrong with jungle?
I don't know.
Jungle's
I
miles
just read
better.
that. It is, yeah.
Jungle's a great word.
It's a great word. I was in the jungle.
Yeah.
But if someone says, I've just spent the last 2 weeks in the jungle, they go, I've been in the tropical rainforest.
The rumble in the rainforest.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd have been rubbish.
The rumble in the tropical rainforest. Wouldn't have worked. But the rumble in the jungle, that's working for me. Anyway, that was James Brown. Gavin Woods also here.
Morning, Johnny.
Gavin.
Morning, James.
Morning, lads. Nice to have you all here. Nice to have the full squad back.
Yes.
Okay, warming up alongside me, as I say, the whistleblower and the maestro, the woodman Gavin Woods, will be giving us some Back in Black action a bit later, I hope. And we've got Principal James Brown. Jimmy, the first thing I want to talk to you about particularly is, because I want to get this going as perhaps a bit of a tweet feature.
Yes.
Is this build-up to England going to Manaus. And I was saying earlier, it's like you know the preview of Platoon, what they're going through, or like it's like they're going in on a boat
fighting
and their advice
way
is
through the
don't
trees.
leave the boat. They've got chef behind the wheel.
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse. Seriously, we're expecting Lance behind the boat surfboarding.
And the Doors playing in the background.
Oxlade Chamberlain surfing at the back.
You know the day comes in tonight. Break on through. It really is.
And Blatter is Colonel Kurtz.
You're expecting the England team, you have to just exactly right. That'd be great.
That'd be great.
And what you got Greg Dyke lurking in the shallows, ready to chop his head off.
Trying to promote the Milky Way Cup.
No,
you know,
you
Glenn Hoddle like Dennis Hopper.
You can just see.
I've been there before.
Yeah. He's inspired, man. He's a good man. He's a kind man.
He's come to fruitation.
He's a Swiss man from FIFA, man. He'll look at you and say, "There's no need for ghost side technology, man, because the man is out there, man. He's a player, man."
He's trying to say there's going to be football between planets, isn't there?
Yeah, he is.
Is he trying to distract anyone from anything, do you think?
Christ knows.
The Milky Way Cup.
You'll need Carlton Palmer for that.
Well,
He's the only player I've ever seen is all shots go planetward.
I've seen Carlton Palmer. I've seen Carlton Palmer eat a burger. It's extraordinary. I saw him do a Big Mac in two
bites.
Do you remember we were talking to Dave Bennett, who's one of our regulars on here?
Yes.
He was talking about his warm-up was in the bath.
Yeah.
Fair play. We didn't bring up when we were talking today that Carlton, when he did his phone-in...
Did it from the bath.
Did it in the bath.
In the bath, yes, good point, actually.
From a specially custom-made long bath.
It's a whole subsection of players in baths.
Listen, let's not take the A1 to Durham. Because... we're live from the Copacabana Beach right here in Rio. We want to talk about Joe Cole and also Terry Butcher leaving Hibernian.
Meanwhile, there's a World Cup going on.
Because when I'm on the Copacabana Beach, I'm on the best freebie ever. All I want to do is act like I'm keeping it real. They were having to make such an effort during the week on TalkSport, bless them, to make out they weren't having that good a time.
To include,
Yeah. You're caught in two things, aren't you? Paint a picture. But let me tell you, Alan Brazil in the beginning, they can't paint a picture. They're going, absolutely brilliant. The beer is ice cold. There's women dripping off us. I don't start the show till 2 in the morning. When Frank and I hit me, that's when I normally get up.
I've seen a picture of Alan.
Hit my stride.
The Moose tweeted a picture of Alan on one of those big pedalo swans.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, really?
But getting out to sea.
It wasn't a big pedalo swan on Alan. They've got Alan Brazil pedalos. Peddling round the Copacabana. Anyway, but they're just trying to just like, Adrian Jump, just very business-like. You're not at all having a good time in Rio. But no, people on the phone were going, "What's Rio like then, lads? Is it brilliant?" And going, "Yeah, Rio's good. Let's talk about Terry Butcher leaving Hibernian." No, let's not. Let's have the atmosphere. Let's have the atmosphere of Rio. I suddenly realised he just can't do it. It's blown his mind.
He's trying to include everyone.
You know what?
No, it's not. It's like when Neil Armstrong went to the moon.
Meanwhile,
he just hasn't got the vocab to describe how wonderful it is. He's just going to go, "There's a great view from here."
It's a beach of two halves. There's the sandy bit and the wet bit.
They're just pretending not to have a good time. Anyway, we've got England going into the jungle tonight. And the way they're picking it, honestly, the way they're doing it is like they're hacking their way through. England's still, they're about a mile from the ground now. If they keep working with the machetes, they're going to eventually get through there.
They've got a sit rep at 0400.
Yeah.
It's like the bridge over the River Roy.
It's exactly Bridge over the I wanted Bridge on the River Kwai as the theme for it.
Excellent.
It's like at the end they've got to win the game and build a bridge. England go to Manaus. Roy Hodgson helps them to build a
They'll
bridge.
be coming in over the ridge at 0400.
Yeah. They're all out there. The English are playing enormous green baggy shorts. They're seriously playing khaki jungle kit.
What is you doing, boy?
Lonely boy.
Are you looking forward to the really big game tonight, Johnny? 2 a.m. Ivory Coast, Japan.
Oh, man, it's just...
Live on Talk Sport, that is.
I'll be up in a second, love. I'll call you back. I can't,
it's not over yet.
Let me just watch the kick-off. It's Ivory Coast, Japan. Let me just watch the first kick.
I won't watch the whole thing.
I won't watch the whole thing. I'll Sky Plus it. I'll Sky Plus it for tomorrow morning. Are you not coming to bed?
No, Japan have scored.
Do you know
Japan have scored.
Do you know what would liven that game
up?
up?
Ivory Coast and Japan on? You're kidding, though.
Johnny, what would liven that game up would be elephants versus kamikaze fighters.
Oh, awesome.
Forget the football.
Awesome.
Send out their national stereotype.
Yes.
The X-Fighters ploughed right into that mammoth.
Okay, can I just say that it says here that this is good stuff in the Sun today. We've got Rob Lee warming up, but remember, 3 million fans will watch England's 3 million fans will watch England's crucial World Cup opener against Italy in the pub tonight, squeezed into 32,000 drinking spots. That's less than 100 a pub. It's not a big
It's
deal.
not that many, is it?
No, it's 3 million packed into, squeezed into 32,000. That's all right. If you imagine 10 by 10, that's doable. We're not.
It is, yeah. It's just a couple of classrooms.
Stop discouraging us. We'll make it in there, all right?
Yeah, that's true. It's not a lot.
Picture, if you will. Can you imagine?
10 rows of 10 people.
Can you imagine? 3 million people crammed into 32,000 pubs. Can you imagine that?
It's like our show.
Certainly is, Gav. 11:15. We're back in a second. We're talking Mormon House. I've got some disturbing news for you. We're going to be talking about the games that were on last night, the games we've enjoyed. A bit of fancy football. There were a bit of fancy football last night, weren't there?
Yeah.
There were.
Oh, I tell you what.
Every game, every goal, every day. The World Cup warm-up with Johnny Vaughan on Talk Sport.
Is he a kind man? Does he like cricket, man? I tell you what, his name's Guy Swindles, which is a great surname.
Is he the kit man?
Yeah, no, he's a cricket man. Guy Swindles, he's out there doing it. Guy, you there?
I am certainly trying to do it. 148 for 1 now, Sri Lanka. Just 8 runs added this morning. Tight bowling from the England pair of Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad. And needs to be, really, because England need wickets and they need them quickly if we're actually going to see a result, I think, in this Investec Test match other than a draw. At the moment, though, good tight bowling. Bit of rain around as well, which has come as something of a surprise.
I was going to say, not looking good at all today. So England have got to work pretty fast, haven't they?
Yes, work hard and work fast, and just hope that someone makes a mistake, because this is just such a good batting track. It really does look as if batsmen have to get themselves out. Bowlers just need to just keep going and be incredibly patient.
Yeah, any sign of people threatening backup runners? No, I'm just saying, has there been anyone doing
that?
Not
at the moment.
No one just says, warning! Mr. Umpire's out! Sir, no, I can do it. It's in the rules. It's in the rules. You can do it. It's in the rules. Unbelievable and so annoying. The other thing I'd like to keep an eye out on, because, I don't know for what reasons, but no one seems to do. It's like, don't mention their bowling actions. Because there's a couple of suspect actions in that Sri Lankan side. I'd like to talk to you. I'd like to talk to those about you a bit later, Mr. Swindles.
That would be fine.
Right when you've answered that phone call.
Exactly.
You answer the phone.
I'm busy now.
I'd like to look at some of those actions. A couple of bowlers there. I know they're trying to break it a bit, but come on, it's just a bent arm.
You know that phone? That was the phone in Top Cat.
It really was like that.
There's a lot like.
Do you know what I think? They should do a Top Cat, because sometimes I listen to Jay-Z, right? Yep. And he sounds exactly like, I don't know, Tay-Say. He sounds exactly like that guy, especially in New York. You listen to New York, down the Tribeca. And he just sounds
Murder was the case that they gave me.
Yeah, they gave me. No, he does. For some reason, he sounds just like, I think it's Clancy, isn't it? I don't know, Tay-Say. And I just think that maybe Jay-Z, with all his money, should just buy Top Cat and just redo it, just revoice it.
What a brilliant... I wonder who's that... it's based on Bilko.
Yeah, it is exactly.
But wonder who it was that said, "Let's do a cartoon version but with cats."
They just use Top Cat and just revoice it because if you listen to, as I say, New York, the tune with Alicia Keys. Yeah, he really now a couple of times you're thinking, are you just trying to be Clancy here?
Do a bit of it.
You go down to Tribeca, TC. Anyway, but you just listen to the record, enjoy it, and imagine it's Clancy. Is it Clancy or Chooch? It's one of the two. Anyway, just a real quickie, because I know he'll be listening now, and I like to do this. Dear Deirdre, I'm afraid exactly the author of this once more. He shouldn't go to here for advice always, but anyway, here you go. Dear Deirdre, I have no string sex with a guy I work with, but now I'm feeling used. We were due to meet up at the weekend, but something came up. And he's cancelled again. The problem is it seems very one-sided when it comes to sex. I've lost count of the number of times I've sorted him out. But he rarely wants to give anything back. I spent the whole night with him just once. It was wonderful. We've made plans to do that again. But he's let me down twice. I don't want to lose him, but am I just wasting my time? Because I said to that girl...
You're sincerely Scott.
No, can I just say, that woman saying, am I just wasting my time? What I would say is, wait till the World Cup's over. Quinny will be back. He'll wonder. I know, Mickey. It's just a World Cup. Don't judge him now. The next month is going to be a bit crazy. It's going to be a bit up in the air.
He'll have some more free time.
He'll have a bit more free time. Yeah. And then you can sort him out all over again.
Like now in Newmarket, there's a horse going, "What?"
Yeah. I tell you something, don't do that. That's the sort of item Durham would go to, right from the beach at the Copacabana. Yeah, just wanting to look at the runners and riders today at Hexamatch. You had lots of people there talking about...
We'll be across that all day.
We'll be across that all day, looking at Will Ryan's folly fall that off from the beach here. They had the Moose taking penalties yesterday. You know, the station just draws you in. You're thinking, no, I'm not going to let Adrian wind me up anymore. I'm going to turn it off. And you turn it down for a bit and you think, oh, go on.
But the power of Durham compels you.
It is. Do you understand? It reminds me when I was a kid and I had a wobbly tooth. You leave it alone.
Yeah. You can't help wiggling it.
You've got a finger sneaking back in there just to push it. Just winding up. I was thinking, no, I'm going to do it.
I'm going to wiggle the tooth.
I'm going to do it. Jack the volume back up again. Yeah, Goffy. And anyway, the whole results of Stuart Pearce. This wasn't on the Durham show, actually. But they had Stuart Pearce yesterday afternoon. It's Hawksby and Jacob, I think. Stuart Pearce taking a penalty in front of the Moose, right? I was thinking, well, I know both people involved in that. I mean, that's just...
Was the Moose in goal?
The Moose was in goal. I was thinking, well, no, I don't want to listen to it. What do I care about that? I mean, I genuinely don't care. I tried to tune into another station. right? I was sort of thinking, no, here we go. And I suddenly thought... No, actually, what did happen in that? This station...
What happened?
This station...
It's addictive.
Sucks you in, doesn't it?
Does, yeah.
It really does.
John, you mentioned Hawksby and Jacobs there.
Yeah.
It's actually Hawksby, because Andy Jacobs went to the to Heathrow last night to fly out to Brazil.
Did he?
And he took his wife's passport.
Oh, yeah, he took the wrong passport.
So you'll be listening to Hawksby and Hawksby this week.
Is he
or Hawksby and Mrs. Jacobs.
Wait a second. Are Hawksby and Jacobs, are they going out there as well?
We're the only ones here.
Oh, this
it's like when you've got detention and even the teachers have got home.
Oh, this is outrageous. We're like maintenance staff coming to paint radiators.
Janitorial radios.
Seriously. We're going to paint radiators. So they'll come back and our place all smell of paint.
Yeah,
things will be all glossy. Windowsills
the
will be
warm-up
glossy.
boys have been through the place.
You won't be able to open certain windows because they're jammed up with paint.
Painted in, yeah.
I was thinking about this all this week and I thought, never mind. In 4 years' time, we'll be the nuts. We'll be the top.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, great, we'll get to go to Leningrad.
We've got
That's right.
We've got that. Yeah, never mind Brazil. No, seriously. Though.
We're coming straight to you from Vladivostok.
No, what's amusing is there is no place called Leningrad, so it's even more intriguing.
So, I mean, we'll go back in time.
Yeah, James wants to go to Leningrad.
It's called Volgograd.
There's St. Petersburg.
Piotrograd.
There's Leningrad. That was Stalingrad, you're thinking of.
Right, yeah.
Hey, maybe you get to go to Stalingrad, Jim.
Have you,
I was talking to James Brown. He's just come back from Stalingrad.
You know what? I went behind the old Iron Curtain a few times before it came down.
Do you mean that like a figurative? It sounds like
when I worked on the NME, before they had capitalism and big flashy cars and everything, it was the weirdest place ever. The tower. We stayed in a tower block where they locked us in. Not in a hotel. There was a big religious event in St. Petersburg, so all the hotels were full. And we're in a tower block. This lady locked us in with all there was about 8 blokes. It was a bit like prison, probably.
Yeah.
But they did their best to give us what they had. And for toilet paper...
What did you get?
They gave us coffee filters. round coffee filters.
Come on,
but
Jim.
for a towel, it was just a little... For a towel,
we've all been down to that.
It was a little... No, but that's your top quality toilet paper.
Oh, then tweet us, please.
Or like using a sink as a urinal.
Sure you can trump.
But I tell you what, I
told you about
time.
a friend of mine stayed at Balmoral.
Yeah.
At the Queen's place. He was a guest of the Queen. He was on a shooting thing. He stayed there. And they've obviously got sinks in all the rooms, in all the bedrooms, like old school houses.
He didn't.
No. Do you know what it says in Balmoral? I don't know if I should reveal this. Above every sink, there's a little sign. Do you know what it says? Go on, everyone else does. I'm not kidding.
Really?
Yeah, in Balmoral, there's a little sign that says, go on, everyone else does.
No, your mate just told you that.
I'm not making it up. I believe it. You knew the guy was.
Right.
It's true, absolutely true.
Does it say by order of?
No, it's right. I'm not giving away names. I'm not giving away any names. I'm not giving away names at all. Absolutely not.
Did you notice Croatia have got their flag on their shirt?
Yeah.
Like checkered.
Yeah.
Why doesn't anyone else do that? Because Stars and Stripes would look good on the front of the shirt.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
No, you'd look like a rap kind of guy or something.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Be a bit more charismatic than just white. Because everyone,
I don't know.
everyone wears the same kit.
James,
really.
you know my feelings. I think England should always play in skins. I've said it once. I've said it again. You get the badge tattooed on, and away you go.
And just any old socks that they've got.
No,
on.
you get the number ironed on.
And you don't win caps. You just win another tat.
You just win another tat.
It's just another lion for every appearance.
No, you just win another ball tattoo coming out your eye.
a little football.
Like a tear. Down there.
The Japanese team would look brilliant. Big sun in the middle.
Easy.
Yeah.
Look great.
That'd be quite awesome. Just like those kind of yakuza, like
we got
to stop talking. It's 11:29, and we haven't even got around to any football yet. I tell you what, because Talk Sport is so empty, there's some quite sad scenes out there. I just heard our producer Steve, the one who looks like a shop manager of a provincial menswear branch,
or a dental assistant,
that's going under. And, he's so sort of lonely in there. I went in there, I was trying to chat. And he's like, imagine the telly's broken down just for an England game. You got some friends round. He's like, oh, come on, we can still listen on the radio. Yeah. We can watch on my laptop. And we got still got the beers, lads.
Yeah, we make the best of it.
We've got a bottle of wine and stuff. Don't all go to the pub. He's like that, and it's really sad. I mean, as you go in the box at the moment, he's really clingy. It's really weird to have like quite a.
Does he keep like holding onto your leg?
No, he's just holding onto my arm. I was going, and also John, and also I gone. It's all right. We can handle the next bit. Thank you. Scott has bought me a glass of water.
Yeah, but not me.
He's like TalkSport's Gunga Din.
It's all cock a hoop because Stoke have signed 2 players already.
Of course they have.
They've done their business.
Which is what Durham will be talking about all this evening. With the England game round the corner, what better time to look? Should Stoke have swooped for those 2 players? I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. Just putting it out there. This is what I'd like to ask you all today. There's a bit of a tweeting.
Okay.
Everyone's talking about this Manaus. And they're literally making out it's hell up there.
Yeah.
Literally. Apart from there's a fly that will kill you by the end of the game. That the field is patchy. Patchy.
By the way, that film poster's brilliant.
Apache.
If you go on you go on what's it called?
Google.
The
internet.
Google. The internet.
On the computer.
The internet. On computer.
Go on computer.
If you go on computer.
Go and look at the Apache. It's
is it good?
It's brilliant.
Okay,
it's a great poster.
Okay, that was quite a complex mind stone you throw me, but I'm going to get back on track.
I know you're
okay. I'll get back.
Memorabilia.
Okay, this is This is the tweet I want. I want you to tell me, Manaus, that's nothing. You want to try and play it?
Yes, the worst pitches you've played.
I want the worst pitches you've played on, the worst conditions.
In the World Cup.
The worst. No, not in the World Cup. Out there in Britain.
Yeah,
like, they're all whinging
and the
about
rest of the world where you're listening.
The rest of the world, wherever you're listening around the world, come on, what's the worst pitch?
We could ask Rob Lee what the worst
I can
pitch
tell
he's
you
played
now.
on.
We used to have a pitch in my first school, right? There was a pitch there, right? Not only was it downhill, it actually had a really large ridge running through it. You had to take it through, full of like farm stuff coming off one of these fields. You had to go through. It was halfway through the pitch. It was a big pillock.
I saw a picture online this week of a pitch with a tree right in the middle of it.
I like that. It's old school.
Right in the middle.
Like, what's it called? Chelmsford.
I've got loads of bad pitches, but we should talk to Rob.
Okay, well, let's talk to Rob because he's our next stop on the River Nile.
It's just gone noon, our past monsoon on the banks of the River Nile.
11:39. Rob Lee's here.
Morning.
Morning, Rob. How are you?
Morning, Rob.
I'm very well, thanks yourselves.
Yeah, really perky. I mean, it's such a big day, isn't it?
It's huge. It's huge.
It's just massive. That first day, England in the World Cup. I mean, the thing, I don't know if you get sick of this, Rob, but I've been listening to a lot of sport phone-in shows.
Yeah.
On loads of different stations around Britain, and everyone just goes, I think England have just got to get in there right from the start and just really get it done. And you're thinking, yeah, anyway, what's your attitude to today, Rob? Let's have some original insight here.
Well, it's not original, but I think it's vitally important that you certainly don't lose your first game. I think you saw Spain yesterday, and
whoa,
they've got beat by the Dutch, and
beat
under pressure.
Thrashed.
Exactly, got absolutely thrashed, and they're under pressure now. So you don't want to get a big beating like that. So, but I think we've got enough. I genuinely think we'll beat them.
Well, when the World Cup was seeded, of course, Italy in at 9th seed, we were in at 10th. They've got a population of 60 million. We're at 58 million. That's interesting.
We've got a better league than them as well.
I'm just saying, with their IMF ranking 10 apart, we've got to be able to do them. We get paid more per head.
Yeah. That's true.
Rob, when you were at the World Cup yourself with Glenn Hoddle's squad, what was it like that day before your first game? Are you cacking it? What are you?
The warm up.
Oh, we had a very long wait, if I remember rightly. We were 5 days, I think, we was watching games until we actually played Tunisia. So
man,
it was a long wait, sitting in all together watching the big screen, watching all the games.
And who did you start to avoid after that time? After 5 days, there's got to be people thinking, "Please don't sit next to me. Please don't sit next to me."
Alan Shearer usually, yeah.
Alan Shearer. Please, not Alan Shearer. No. This chair's taken, Alan. We just get to the stage where
I'm saving that for someone else.
Alan, I'm saving it. Putting other people's tracksuits around it.
Rob, is it true Shearer was a total nightmare with the pranks?
Yeah, he's not what you see on the telly. He's very much a prankster. He likes doing tricks on people. He don't like them on himself, but he does like doing them.
I always say, generally, practical jokers, it's generally the mark of very little sense of humour.
What was
generally?
So they don't like it back.
No, they just haven't got a sense of humour. That's why they've got to set things like that.
What was the worst thing that he did to you?
To me?
Yes.
It certainly wasn't the World Cup. He used to at Newcastle. He used to cut people's clothes up with scissors.
Yeah, that's just vandalism.
That's just annoying.
No, police with that.
Once I come home and
walking out with torn clothes, it's not good.
Yeah, once I come home and Alan's burnt my house down.
Yeah, he took a hammer to my car. It was hilarious.
It was really funny because I had a date that night, and
the Cure did that to their drummer.
Did they?
The Cure, they used to pick on the drummer.
Did they?
They went to his big house in the country and poured petrol a good distance from the house in a big ring and set fire to it and rang him up and said, "We're coming to get you."
Really?
Yeah.
That's cold.
That's great. We should start doing it with each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Rob and Alan Shearer.
No.
This kind of
arson for a laugh.
No, with the World Cup just a few hours away, we will be talking a bit more about the Cure. Thanks, former enemy journalist James Brown. They're bringing those kind of insights there of other people who've been bullied by drummers.
They were picking on the drummer.
Tell me more about Alan Shearer then, about sort of Alan's little pranks.
Well, it's just boredom, really. It's just you're away for 5 weeks. It's sort of like it's very schoolboyish. It's very childish, but it relieves the boredom a little bit.
And back in your day, presumably it wasn't quite so sort of PlayStation orientated.
No, it was poker, surely.
Was it?
I remember we came up with an idea because there was so many interviews and people were doing interviews. And obviously, the lads all sit in a room and watch all the interviews, and we again very childish. We try to get as many song titles as possible.
Yes,
I remember that.
If he was on the I think Gareth Southgate ruined it when he came out. This is no Club Tropicana here, Gary Lineker. So
yeah.
It was a little bit obvious, that one. I think all the press got onto it. Yeah.
He did. That's what we call that.
He just missed.
No, it's the cheese salad. It's what me and my mates call the cheese salad.
You're on the highway to hell when you do that.
Yeah, it was going on for a good couple of days before the press cottoned on.
Yeah, and then Gareth Southgate had to cheese salad it. Classic.
Shearer got loads in, if I remember, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he win it?
Well, they're sort of like we sort of like. I don't think there's any winners really. Shearer sort of like got something and he didn't realise he was getting them in. I think. But.
Did you want? He didn't realise he was getting them in.
Well, yeah, I think he kept to Phil. I think if it kept to Phil Collins and Lionel Richie because that's all he knew. So
no. Alan Shearer's favourite record of all time, according to Graham Lasso, who said it was the single most depressing thing he'd ever heard in his life. Graham Lasso said, he said, "What really has depressed you recently?" He said, "I was talking to Alan Shearer about music. I asked him what his favourite record was. He said Sailing by Rod Stewart." Really? He says, the guy's lived through one of the most exciting times of music. No disrespect to Sailing, but...
You got to watch the video for that.
What, for Sailing?
It's cracking.
It's moving,
it's Rod
isn't it?
with a beautiful, huge feather cut, just going around New York on the front of a boat.
No, I thought he was on the Ark. I thought he's got with the Ark Royal and all the sailors are on it, aren't they?
I think that's a later version for a
Oh, no, that's in the Navy.
That...
That's in the Navy, Village People. So different. So different. I've got down here that you once let down Alan Shearer's car tyres, and apparently he then put horse dung down your car grill.
No, that's totally untrue. I don't know who he got that from.
John Beresford told us that.
John Beresford told us.
No, he's a liar. He's always has been a liar, little John Beresford. We covered his car. We covered his. He was one of the first. He got a sponsored Jag when he first came, new £15 million player, and we covered his. We got his car covered in manure. That's true.
Who, Alan Shearer's?
Yes, he had a new Jag, which obviously he was very.
So
very
you when you said it's not true, actually it is true.
Cover it in dung. We're jealous.
Just cover it in dung. Yeah.
Rob, where did you get the dung from?
It was at a training ground, so we got the groundsman to do it.
What? Why is there dung there?
Tractor.
He had horses on the Newcastle training ground.
I wouldn't surprise me.
Big Shire horses.
They're playing races.
A little bit of manure down.
Aye, like a horse there down there, right near Newcastle, and the horses and the listed let them train, because always the little chavs will chore the course. Can I ask you one more thing?
Yeah.
This actually, before I ask you your last question, which is a key one, which is going to be how you warmed up, can I say with horse dung on the end of match days, do scoop a bit of it up and put it in blue plastic bags. And if you're going to go around a mate's house, you can have hilarious fun with it. What you do is I've never done it, obviously, but
on match days. Oh, you mean the police horses?
Yeah, the police horses.
Yeah. Get a big black like a bag full of horse dung. Yeah. Then you go to your mate's round. You go. Well, can I use your cars, you mate? No. What you said is, I had this veggie curry last night.
Johnny. You've got too much time on your hands.
I've got
be plotting.
I had a veggie curry last night. Then you literally just stack your cars full of it and put a few sarcastic bits of blue paper. And even come through and say, "Clean wipe on that." Drew an ace second sheet. And then go, I had trouble flushing that down, though. And it's never not funny. Okay, how did you used to warm up in the old days? What was your pre-match warm-up? Please, Rob.
I did very little. I went out and started just smashing a few balls around. So I didn't really do any stretches or anything like that.
Didn't you ever?
I like Mr. John Beresford. He used to stretch all the time. Yeah, no, I left the stretching to the very, very quick players. I just went out and smashed a few balls around. That was my warm up.
Okay, next one. I know keep it in the change room and everything, in a manner of speaking. But how was David Beckham after his red card against Argentina? You were there. What was the mood like then?
Well, obviously very depressed.
Was he going to say delighted?
Yeah, he wasn't smiling. Let's put it that way. No.
Was he angry? Was he angry? Does he go silent?
He was very, very upset. He'd realised he'd let a lot of people down. Listen, I still think it was a harsh sending off. Simone knew exactly what he was doing, but yeah, he was very, very upset.
Englishman should be able to do what he likes to an Argentinian, John. Listen, it's 11:48 right here on TalkSport. We're going to get your nomination right now for our next stop down the River Nile. Who are you going to go for here?
Who are we going to talk to next week?
Come on,
Rob. Why don't you speak to Lee Bowyer?
Yes.
Lee.
Back with the Leeds players.
The Charlton connection. They were mates at Charlton and Newcastle.
Stop trying to hide the Leeds connection. No, not just Leeds, John. Charlton connection.
Charlton, yeah.
No, they'd have played at Charlton together.
There is also a very strong Charlton connection.
That's a great recommendation. Okay. I love Boyer. He was a great player.
There you go.
He was a very good player, wasn't he? He was
very, very good. Yeah. He follows me around everywhere.
Does he?
He would have played for England.
Charlton and Newcastle, West Ham, went everywhere I went. So.
Yeah. Right. Listen, we're going to take a little bit of a break. Rob Lee, we're back. We're back in a couple of seconds. Sadly, you're not. So we'll say goodbye. Enjoy the World Cup and go on, England!
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. A man is born, he's a man of means. Then along come two. They got nothing but the genes, but they got different strokes it takes. Different strokes it takes. Different strokes.
Welcome to the World Cup on TalkSport. It certainly takes different strokes to move the world. Different strokes stroking the football around the field.
Different folks.
Different folks. Different strokes. Adrian Durham. Alan Brazil. Different strokes. Jason Cundy. Mickey Quinn. The different strokes. Right here at TalkSport. TalkSport, bringing you every game, every day, for the whole World Cup. Watch the different strokes of different folks moving the world towards a cup final. Only on TalkSport, the station with cheap imagery. All right, take it off. Do you know what? So excited about this England game tonight. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself because it's such a long time to fill.
It's
I
late,
fear
isn't it?
how drunk people are going to get and how much. Because you know what's going to happen? By the time the game starts, they're going to be like our head of talent, Gilo. At the awards ceremony. The awards ceremony. There's going to be loads of people in pubs just
watching with one eye.
Just watching. I mean, no, literally. But that was by the time we had the starters. He's watching the stage. He was like that.
He's just going to be staring at light.
He's going like that.
Any bright light, he's going to be staring at.
The winners were going up. James, winners were going up. He was like that. He had one hand over his
He had a 48-hour post-Man City league.
I know he did.
Bender.
But it's 11 o'clock tonight. It's just deadly. God, it's exciting.
Very dangerous for the afternoon pub start.
It really is. Get the upper hand, as we call it.
We'll just get in and have a pint.
No, I've got to say, I'm not having this. Unfortunately, I haven't been out of drink for like a long time.
That's because you've had all your drink.
Yeah, I've done my life drinking.
You're
but
worthless
you
and weak.
are talking about the perfect opportunity for a really, really, really long, well-supported session. Not
Don't just booze. Whatever you want to bring along.
Some pie and mash in.
Yeah, bring some sliders,
some chips,
some downers, some reds, some Antoc,
some Vicks.
Yeah, you get in there, you get anything you like. You can get over-the-counter stuff.
12-hour build-up.
You could buy over-the-counter flu remedies and mix them up into some weird hillbilly speed thing that you can do, and then you could go there. You can get really out of it, man. and it's the perfect day. James Brown says, you can really go for it, man.
A well-supported session.
A well-supported session.
What are we doing now? Hey, Johnny,
Yes.
you know you were talking about those couple of football pitches by the M60.
Yeah.
And they were bemoaning now. They were sandwiched between all sorts of the motorway and something horrible like an industrial estate.
This is because they're saying Malawi is so terrible.
Yeah.
We want to say, come on, England, that's nothing.
Well, Jonathan Macaulay has tweeted in on the contrary. I've did that. But
Okay.
He said, those pictures are inspiring when you're stuck in the M60 traffic.
That's true, yeah.
A good point. It's
dangerous.
Motorway side.
And actually, the weird thing is,
entertainment.
Gav's now brought them up on Google Earth, and they are extraordinary.
No, that was what they sent in.
Is that what they sent in? Yeah, that's extraordinary. I can't even think. What a perfect place for a football pitch.
Yeah.
This is sandwiched right between two streams, a railway track and the M60.
Instant access to the motorway.
Well, great. Yes, I hadn't thought of that, actually. Well, it's very easy to get to.
It's good for getting away.
It's very easy to get to if you want to just pull the emergency cord on a train.
I wonder if anyone's kicked a ball onto the motorway from there.
Well, I would think so.
I wonder if they have try and hit the train.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's time for...
Yes, the ball does go on the motor. It goes on at Bescott, Walsall.
Does it?
Yeah, I went to a Tuesday night match there. Jermaine Beckford put it on the motorway.
You went to a cheese night?
Yeah, I went to a cheese night.
Did you?
No, Tuesday night.
I thought you said, I went to a brilliant cheese night.
That was after he stopped drinking. It was going to be a wine and cheese night.
I'll go anywhere.
Bassett Dave Bassett. Sorry, Dave, they said you wouldn't come on without that theme.
That's right, of course. It's my favourite theme.
Somebody's going to get his arse kicked. Dave, how do you feel today? You're nervy when you woke up this morning?
No. I'm confident we can do well. I'm not nervy at all. It's not much point in being nervy, you know. It's the players who have got to do the business, and they know what's required. And you know, my feeling is that we got a decent chance of quite easily qualifying.
Well, do you know what? Here's the deal. We're seeded 10th. Italy are seeded 9th. Yeah. Their population ranking in the whole world is 24th. Putting us at 23rd, yeah? This is how close we are as nations. But they've got a population of 60 million, we've got 58. But if we look at their IMF rating, how much they get per capita, boy, are they lower down the list. This gives us a slightly lower 9.1304 on my chaos rating, and they're at 11.625. Now, so far, my chaos ratings have got every single game right. Sadly, by this, it means a draw, or Italy is slightly going to shade it. What do you think to that?
Well, that's all that calculations and everything else to me. You know, we know that seedings don't count for anything. Andy Murray just was seeded and got knocked out.
Good man!
So it don't really matter, and it's never worried me. You know, when you play football, it's no good looking at the teams and starting getting imagination that they're better than you. Once you start that, you're in trouble. You've got to think that you're better than them and you're capable of winning, and I'm sure Roy Hodgson and the boys feel that.
Is that what you tell the players, Dave? Because that sounds quite inspiring.
Yeah, the players there. Well, you tell them, you know, it's no point if they sense that you fear the opposition or you don't think they can do it. It filters through to them, and they obviously feel that way. So you've got to be bullish. I mean, you've got to be intelligent about it. You're not going to say we're going to go out and beat Italy 5-0. You know, if that happens, that's a one-off. But you
Dave, do you know what a great way of finding out if England are going to win or not? And this. There's one player there who is the indicative player. He hasn't let me down all season, which is why I won the predictions. I can predict Chelsea games. Just look at Gary Cahill's face when he comes out. I don't know why, but the result is always written in his face. You can just see it. He's one of those players, you can just see. I know he's a key player there. I don't know why. His face never lies. You just look at him and you can see we're right up for this today. Or I look at him, he's slightly downcast, the eyebrows slightly furrowed, and you think, ooh, hello. Ooh. Dave, were you ever psyched out by opposition, ever?
No.
Never
Why
ever.
should you be? Well, what's the point if they're going to psych you out? You're finished. You know, you've got, you know, people do things, and you know we did things as well when at teams. You know, there's little things you do in the tunnel. I always said to my boys, make sure you stand on your tiptoes, jump up and down, look happy, and be shouting and singing, so the opposition think, Christ, this is a big team, and you know, get them thinking.
Did you used to get your teams to come out of that tunnel like they've been fired like a pyro?
Well, we used to wind them up. I didn't sort of tell them that to do it, but they, you know, always tried to make sure that they were motivated, they were looking forward to it, and they were up for it. Because, you know, you want the opposition to know the game's about to happen, and you're really ready for it, you're looking for it, and if they've got one or two who are apprehensive and not thinking about it, all of a sudden their confidence can be affected. You know, the mental toughness is a big factor.
OK, have you ever over-psyched a team, do you think?
Yeah, Vinnie Jones got sent off in 45 seconds at Man City.
Did he?
Yeah, I said Peter Reid needs a tackle. I didn't mean round the throat, though, Vinnie.
OK, that's OK. So you probably over-psyched him, OK, who
Peter Reid needs a tackle.
One thing you didn't oversight people like Vinnie and Dennis Wise. They were well up for it.
OK, without wishing to hound you, Bassett.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
What about ground it?
Yeah, I just wanted to know who in the England side at the moment do you think you'd really like to sort of shake up and go, come on? If you had anyone in particular you think just needs a bit of a shake up.
Glenn Johnson at right back, he's not defending as well as he should do. You know, he looks like he's got an accident in the bag ready, or an error in the bag ready to go. And I think he's got to make sure his defensive duties are spot on.
He looks jittery, doesn't he?
Well, I don't so much whether he is jittery.
Oh,
but,
I'm not going to argue over it. I was sort of trying to agree with you, Dave. Don't just come back at me. I meant you said that, so I agreed, and he does look jittery, and then you go, well, I wouldn't say jittery, Vaughan.
Dave, do you think...
Well, I know, he might be a bit overconfident, but, you know, there's times where he was caught out, and, you know, as I say, in the game against, you know, he has games where all of a sudden he goes missing.
That's what I think. That's what I mean by jittery. He's just a bit skittish, a bit jittery. He's like he's there once second. Another second, he looks like he's not so sure.
Dave, do you think he doesn't want to be a defender?
No, I'm sure he does. He earns enough money, and he's been playing as a defender for his life. But
what do you think he wants to be, James? A pilot?
No, he looks like those. No, he looks like those games when the bloke goes,
"No,
stay in defence," and then all the action's up front, and he looks like he wants to just go forward and get involved.
Yeah, he enjoys getting forward, and he does that, and he's asked to do that. And but on the occasions, he's found wanting. As he was at Crystal Palace on a couple of occasions with the goals there.
Do you think we'll miss Ashley Cole? Because those 2 warm-up games, I thought Baines was a bit suspect. It wasn't particularly inspiring.
Well, Baines is a good player, but for me, I'd have taken Ashley Cole because I still think he's the best at the moment. He's experienced, he's been there, seen it, and done it. That's just personal opinion, but for me, Ashley Cole would be playing.
I think that as well.
Okay.
So do I.
Do you know what? I really think so. He's another, well, as I say, an invisible player. Something, no trouble happens around him. But also in left back, you want the most experienced left-sided players you can. Because there's more right-sided players to choose from. You're going to get more skill coming down the left.
Also, when you look at the opposition, you see these players who've got massive reputations, who've played in loads of finals, they've won European championships and everything, won Champions League, and it just scares the opposition when you see a player that's known throughout the world.
I know, but you haven't had that at Ellen Road for a long time. Dave Bassett, thank you so much.
Not since Dave showed up.
Yeah, pleasure. Enjoy the day, boys.
That was Dave. Thank you.
Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Dave? I just sort of think, is there any other things you want to get off your chest?
Dave, where are you watching the match?
No, that's not what I asked him.
Well, I mean, the first game, the referee's performance was an absolute disgrace. If that's a penalty, and then what's he disallowed the goal for? I mean, the Cesar, the goalkeeper, looked like a Labrador trying to do dressage going back. And the rest,
anything else that's really got you? Come on, Dave, it's a really good chance on the world's biggest sports network. Exclusive coverage of the World Cup, every game, every day, everything. Come on, let it off a bit of steam there. Come on.
Give me a few more weeks down, give me another few more games down the road and I might have something to say.
Great, come back.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. The outsider is here enjoying the hell of the World Cup. He had a little bit of a break there from football, and now, his whole life's a break from football, it's been described as. Last week he took us through the bat scene in Britain. I wonder what the outsider has for us today. Let's take a mosey down out the outside lane. Morning.
Morning, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, outsider. How's your week been?
My week's been variable. It was a good. It started off well, and then the news started getting clogged up with blasted stories and things. And
yes.
Oh God, here we go.
Here we go. That's exactly what I just escaped from.
Didn't we have this a couple of years ago? Couldn't they have sorted it out then?
Yeah, right.
Why the Euros?
Exactly right. Must we?
It's the same thing every time. People go on, they kick footballs around. There's a good bit where they stop, and you can eat a pie or something.
Yeah.
And then it all starts again, and then everyone goes home cross. Well, half the people go home cross.
Everyone goes home cross.
Sometimes when you get a tennis tournament, and basically your final ends between, or any tournament, your final ends between your number 1 and number 2 seed. Your semi-finals was first, seconds, and thirds and fourth. You think, well, was there any point with the competition, really?
Yeah, just bring the seeds in and let them...
Maybe play it backwards. Start with the final, see who wins it, and then have them go to the semis and actually see who
fight for the scraps.
And then you scrap to qualify at the very end.
That's not going to happen now, though.
I haven't got a clue what you're talking about, but I'm just going to agree.
Okay, just agree. I haven't got a clue. James just does that. He's called a complex mind stone. Give us your big three chimes. Here we go.
Okay. Dutch courage means it rains in Spain.
Nice.
Office sweepstake means that I'm cheering Iran.
Nice.
Nation builds itself up for inevitable disappointment.
Thank you very much indeed on that
I'm watching
optimistic
football
note.
tomorrow, you know.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm watching 10 hours of football.
Are you?
How?
Well, there's a young Year 10 that I'm teaching at the moment in my science class. And,
yes.
He's not very well, and 10 of his mates are playing football for 10 hours for the kicking cancer out of
Good
for cancer.
Well done.
Yeah, 10 hours. These are good guys.
10 hours. And tell us where they're doing this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is at Wellsway AstroTurf between 6 in the morning. So these are teenagers getting out of bed, starting playing football at 6 o'clock for 10 hours, 6 till 4 o'clock. There's live music there. There's a raffle. There's an ice cream van. You couldn't sponsor them, could you?
Where is it?
Of course we can sponsor it.
Where is it?
Excellent. Kensham, which is halfway between Bristol and Bath.
Yeah.
And that's the Wellsway AstroTurf.
Okay, and some kids are playing for one of their classmates, effectively.
He won't be playing, but 10 of his friends, I think it's 10 of his friends will be.
Oh, I think that's fantastic.
These are seriously, these are good guys. These are staying behind after school so that they can rehearse for their GCSE exams this week, and I'll certainly be going along there. This is a football match I'll be watching.
How about that?
They're going to play for 10 hours.
They're going to play for 10 hours. The outsider actually gets involved in football. How about that? Outsider, best of luck with that.
Thank you.
Get those windows down. Get those arms out and let's fly to Rio. For we are the TalkSport relief team. The men that wouldn't go. We're not luxuriating on the Copa with Big Al Brazil and his kin. No, sir. We're
holding the fort.
We're not talking about Terry Butchers being sacked from Hibernian while sitting on a beach in Rio de Janeiro, because we're not Adrian Durham.
That's right.
We are the warm-up team, keeping it shallow, kicking football out of football, but following England all the way to the final. Yes, sir. Okay, get the arms out now.
What, like Christ the Saviour in Rio?
Just get the arms out of the van or a car. It just looks so good if you do it. If you've got something that bounces to hurl out the back, no, don't. This is great for pulling up the lights, this bit. You slightly pull the arms back like a swing wing fighter bomber. Jet, yeah. Now you should be beating on the front like drums. Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful World Cup memories. Saturday the 14th, a massive day for us. This is it. The waiting, the waffle, the padding. Do you know what the one that's really sickened me this week on TalkSport? Should be mad. To nearly smash up the radio more than I normally do listening to the station.
Do you throw your kebab at the radio?
I just go mad. That was funny this week, wasn't it? Gav, you missed that. We're doing people who
shout at the telly.
The worst TV shouters.
I heard that story. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was a rerun.
It was a Barnsley fan shouting at a rerun, yes.
Of a game he'd been at.
He says, his brother was going, thing is, we've been at the game. He knew what was happening.
It was 4 years previous.
It was 4 years ago. He threw his kebab at the telly. There's another bloke who, when he plays FIFA on the PlayStation, if his brother's got Luis Suarez, he punches the telly to try and injure the player. He thinks he can injure a player. Like through the telly.
Like one of those games where you can play with a controller. Yeah,
but the thing is, his granny shouts at snooker. We had a bloke with grannies on. She just gets
snooker.
She sits there just watching snooker. Don't turn it off.
She's put a wrestling attitude into the.
She's just
snooker.
Absolutely.
But you don't get fouls in snooker.
You do.
Not really.
Yeah, you do get foul ball. Foul, 4 away.
Are you
foul!
You just get a
anyway, guys, the point is, it's tonight. We're finally here. We really
happen,
are. Now, what's really, really bored me this week on TalkSport, I mean, really, to the point where I'm going to smash the radio up, is callers, who think, I want to sit there, listen to someone going, I think we've got a guy out there, all guns blazing.
Get stuck in.
Just get stuck in straight away. I don't think we should hang about. I think we've got to commit early on. You're thinking... Why did you think this needed to be said? Who's going to have the balls to go on? And I suddenly thought, I'm going to. I said, I think England need to go on. I think they need to look like they lack confidence.
Maybe the defenders don't look like they know each other that well.
The defenders should muddle up quite a bit.
No one wants the ball.
It should look like literally who does want it. I think there should be a real lack of support, a lack of hunger in the players' eyes. I want to see the players just playing behind your front men, not quite gelling.
The brass band really loud.
I want the brass band loud. I want Roy Hodgson looking baffled and
staring at his massive watch.
I've got to tell you, actually, if you did think that way and that's what you thought England should play like, you wouldn't be disappointed.
No, you wouldn't.
Every game you'd be like, brilliant, exactly according to my game plan. Perfect, perfect performance. I want it to the players look like strangers, unless someone scores, which is suddenly they're all mates.
Shouting at each other angrily.
Yeah, but Roy Hodgson's, I found him increasingly interesting this week.
What, when they're going to play Peru?
It's just Roy's, when they're playing Peru, it's his increasingly husky voice, and he's like one of those, in Cockneys.
Some degree of discomfort.
He's so old school abroad, isn't he?
But there's two schools of Cockneys. Because I want to try and start the awards for Cockneys. So you have you have the golden bottle.
Yeah,
for the most spiteful little midget in London.
The golden heiress.
The golden heiress. Anyway, I think you've got London's horsest Cockney. As a category, because you have London's gruffest Cockney, don't you?
God, that's all.
Yeah. Jesus, come round here. You get them Cockneys are so gruff like that, don't you? I've turned round him. I've turned round. I'm like that. You get so I can go gruffer. Anyone gruffer? Yeah, I can go much gruffer than that. Jesus, come round here. He's done no more than look inside. I want you out here. Right? We can go gruffer. Jesus, come inside. I turn around him. But I prefer them horse Cockneys who are people like that. And Roy Hodgson's getting them. He's like, I think we've got a good chance in the game today. And he's got that really sound. We could really play some good football. Sorry, I've gone too far, haven't I? Anyway, are you finding Roy Hodgson increasingly amusing?
Yeah, I am, yeah. His exercise, he does those 50s calisthenics.
Well, that's what we were laughing at.
He's got the
really
RAF
funny
exercise. Is it the Canadian Air Force?
The Canadian Air Force!
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. Keep your back straight.
But also, whatever he wears, he just looks exactly what he is. Like
Roy,
a guy in his 60s abroad.
Yes, he does, yeah.
But he doesn't look like somebody who's necessarily equipped for sport.
Yeah.
He's got very tight tracksuit
He
bottoms
looks like the sort of guy
with his stomach hanging over them.
Who's always at the bar when you're on holiday.
Who is it going to be? We don't want England. It's England. England have got to go up the Amazon and take on Italy in their first game in Manaus. It is a nightmare for England.
The comment about the possibility of it being more difficult to play in Manaus maybe than in some other places because it's so close to the equator and it's more tropical was simplified in some ways as suggesting that we didn't want to go there. Well, nothing could be further from the truth.
Here's Lallana from the corner kick, delivering the cross. Here's Daniel Sturridge with the header, and England do take the lead. Balotelli now, he's clear now for Italy. Balotelli finishes emphatically.
England back on level terms. Wayne Rooney is the man.
Magnificent solo strike from Andrea Pirlo.
The team we've got is not just a team, the squad we've got is a youthful squad, a lot of energy and excitement, and in terms of Italy, it's more or less the same squad, so it'll be an interesting game for us to see how we've moved on and how we've progressed in the 2 years.
Elegant turn towards the far corner, and Adam Lallana scores a wonderful goal. Shoots towards the far corner. Oh, Sterling's rising all right.
It's Ross Barkley that takes the plaudits.
Before we build people up too much and say how wonderful these young players are, let's see some very good performances in the England shirt first. To be a world beater, you've got to put your international shirt on and play very well.
It's talk sport, it's full commentary. England have got the goal!
Come on, England.
Come on!
Come on, England!
Welcome to the jungle, it gets worse there every day.
Well, England, of course, hacking their way through the jungle right now to get to this. Literally, when they find this stadium, it's going to be like an Inca settlement.
Johnny, did you hear the lyric there?
Welcome
After all
to
of
the
that,
jungle.
It gets worse every day.
It gets worse every day.
It's totally at odds with the rest of the jingle.
What I was going to say about Roy Hodgson earlier. He is doing. Roy Hodgson earlier. He is doing calisthenics. The Canadian
Air Force
workout. My dad used to years ago. Involved him, as far as I can remember, it involved him sort of jogging on the landing.
Touch your toes.
So, no, I don't know about that. But you know what? He didn't know. He exercised. He didn't command me to do anything.
Okay.
But the thing is, I was thinking if Roy Hodgson's going to go really old school, any second you expect. I mean, if you saw him doing that this morning. I was thinking He's going to have the England players coming out with, like, bull workers. Do you know what I mean? He's so old school. Or those balls used to... Those wheels used to have to do sit-ups with.
Those things are impossible.
Those carpet wheels, it's just a wheel that you hold either side.
And you lean forward
and
like
you just lean forward.
Yeah.
You're meant to be able to then bring yourself back up.
Squat thrust.
You just kill yourself with
your
them.
back snaps in half.
Roy Hodgson buys new rowing machines. Anyway, do you know what? Saggers is out there. Oh, he's doing it for us. Saggers, how are you, matey?
I'm very well indeed. I'm glad you mentioned Roy Hodgson there, actually. I don't know if you've noticed. I think he's got a really stiff neck. He never moves the upper half of his body. He has to sort of turn himself every time he wants to speak to Gary Neville.
Saggers, we were just watching England training. He was wearing shorts, yeah? But he always looked like, you know when you're on holiday and you get those pensioners who just paddle?
What, you mean like me?
No, they just sort of go to the waterline to keep an eye on grandchildren.
And just go
you sort of think if there is an emergency, they're going to be useless here, but they just sort of
ankle deep.
Walk around.
That's his job as the manager.
That's it, they should put that by the side. Yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to say, he'd be the one who'd stand on the little crab or on that sort of mussel shell and cut his foot.
Yes, and go hopping around.
Roy's hurt his foot. Marge!
Roy's had a fall.
Roy's had a fall. Get lifeguard down here now. Roy's cut himself on something. He's cut himself on a lot of barnacles. Now, he just looks like he's contemplating having a... Yeah, I might go in a little bit later and have a swim, but I might just have a paddle around. What was interesting in that is they were just talking about Stephen Gerrard there was talking about there's a lot of energy and enthusiasm amongst the younger players, and you're thinking, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the senior players and Roy are able to get rid of that energy and enthusiasm. I'm just saying, but you listen to him, he just sounds so uninspiring. You listen to Roy, there's Gerrard just on the radio saying, he goes, yeah, there's a lot of young players around, with a lot of energy and excitement, enthusiasm, and that's just a question of bringing it out, And then they have Roy on just going, obviously it's day one of the tournament. They've got to take it very steady.
You've gone Danny again.
How's the humidity, Sags?
Oh, it's up there at the moment. 70. It's the temperature's due to get to 32 today, much hotter than it has in the last 2 or 3 days.
Where you want it, Saggers.
Yeah. Exactly. But I wanted to say this to you, actually. It's not a new one, but I like it. He was quoting this week, Roy Hodgson, a bit of Latin, and it translated, it meant through adversity to the stars. But it is per ardua ad astra. Now, I know they're sponsored by Vauxhall.
Yes.
This is ridiculous.
It's getting absurd. That's all we need is Latin placement.
What? Are they turning up in an Astra? Are the back four mobile enough? I just don't know what's going on out here
who
at the
knows?
moment.
But I tell you what, it's not the time for Roy to start sort of stirring up controversy by literally... that's like Rusty Lee with sacks of salt years ago. Now Roy started name-dropping in Latin, hoping he can sneak that past Ofcom. Classic Sags.
Did you catch up with your luggage? Did you catch up with your luggage, Sags?
Do you know what? I'm known as Airport Mark because I like to get to the airport probably a day in advance.
I love that.
I was there hours beforehand. Mine was only one of 17 bags that came round the carousel in Rio.
17. Oh, no. Were you feeling smug?
I had to wait.
It just shows that everyone's been watching documentaries and no one trusts anyone in Brazil whatsoever. Baggage handlers, you're kidding me. They're probably all murderers anyway, who've killed lots of people, and they're going to probably take all your bags, and by the time you get it, they'll probably put you in the bag, kidnap you, take you to a favela, get you involved in some weird scene, shove you off a cliff you'll never be seen again. I mean, the build-up to Brazil, honestly, frankly, most people are sort of at the airport and thinking, let me think, Helmand Province or Brazil? I think I'll go for Helmand Province. It's a lot less risky.
You're talking about Alan Brazil?
No, right. Listen, tell me, what's that? How's Alan dealing with the humidity? That's what we really want to know.
Well, easy, actually. He was in a hotel with a plunge pool, and he never left it. He made them build a little seat inside it, so he was up to his neck, and he was sort of sucking the cocktails through a straw from the side of the...
just to stay rehydrated.
I'm surprised he didn't have a... I'm surprised he didn't have another hot tub next door to him just full of beer. And he
I know. I mean, he absolutely retired. He was on the Copacabana in the Hotel Astoria, and it's like one of those. Has Jeff been in? You know that you knew you could get there and find Alan in full flow, and he was fantastic.
What I want to know is Alan more humid than where England are playing tonight? Has he got a higher humidity level in his own microclimate?
If you stand next to Alan Brazil in Brazil, you come out in a sweat within 20 seconds.
I gather.
You get that, don't you? You just cannot. You feel drained when you leave him. He's absolutely taken. You can't get your second breath. It's no good, Johnny.
It's no good. Sometimes, Saggers, after I've come in here to fill in for Colin, when I've done shows after Alan, the humidity in here is up to 97%, and that's just. So don't talk about the humidity in Brazil.
He's got his own microclimate.
You try to sit next to him. He has got a microclimate around him. You can see around his elbows sometimes cumulonimbus. Right around the top of his hair, you can see the serious cloud formations, just the moisture coming off there. What do you think tonight? What do you think tonight, Saggers?
What do I think tonight? I think that if England do the thing that we want them to do, which is use their attacking policy with the young and the youth and everything, and grind these Italians down, we'll get it. Whether they'll do that from the start, who knows? But I tell you what, they've really got an opportunity. The only thing is, we've watched this World Cup and everybody else sort of just played for fun. You know, defensive tactics, they don't exist anymore. We don't want that. I mean, the way that Van Persie flew through the air yesterday and Robin and everything.
He flew.
Oh,
it was a great goal.
After he'd headed it, which was weird.
He flew, yeah.
It's a great goal.
Great goal.
What's he been taking then? Is someone going to... Saggers.
And, sorry.
Yeah, go on, Saggers. Say what you're going to say.
I was just going to say, just finally, Alan actually has got on a plane and he's had enough. He's gone. But H&J are due to arrive here in Sao Paulo today. Not a good start for Andy Jacobs.
No.
Took his wife's passport to the airport. I mean, you know what? What are these guys on?
But you know what? So deliberate, man. I saw Jacobs here, yeah, just reading about Brazil and the terror, yeah. It's a classic bottler. He's a bottler.
It's going to be Hawksby and Mrs. Jacobs.
It's going to be Hawksby and Mrs. Jacobs. No, but it's just... But Saggers, it's just so obvious. I could see the fear in his eyes. Yeah, he literally gets nosebleeds outside Chiswick. Honestly. He just couldn't handle it. He was reading about it. He was going... Oh, this gang war they're going on in the favela. And they're also joking
There's no cricket.
There's no cricket. You could see he just wants to be at home with his record collection, talking about old menswear, going through programmes, you know.
Having lunch with Fabregas.
No, he hasn't shaved the beard off. He hasn't. Okay, listen. It was Saggers. Your war cry for the England tonight is...
Come on, England!
Come on, England! We're taking a break back soon. Thank you very much. That's Saggers. That's live. He's got the feeling. That was Saggers, actually. He got locked out the house, and his son was trying to get in through a very small window in the downstairs cloakroom. And in fact, that was not anything to do with England at all, but the sound fitted perfectly. That's the sort of passion Saggers has.
Has he named his son England?
Yes, he has, yes. He often goes off and does burglaries with England. And
goes out on the rob.
England shins up the drain pipe and then he goes, "Get in there, my son," and he wills him on.
Okay.
Is there any kids called England?
I don't know, James. I don't know. How could I know that suddenly? Okay, what do you want to say? Yes, there's 19 of them.
There's children called India.
There are children.
And adults called
India. And Mercedes.
And Mercedes, yeah. Chelsea. Yeah. You get that. You get all sorts of things.
No Arsenals.
No, there's very few Arsenals. There's an Arsene who ended up managing Arsenal.
Now, when you see it printed on the TV, if it says Arsene Wenger, Arsenal manager, if you squint your eyes, it just looks like the same.
Yeah, of course it does. And I know you do that when you watch telly.
You do that for fun.
No, I don't. I'm just a bit short-sighted.
No, whatever.
Gives you the same effect.
Gav does some strange things for kicks.
I'm going to stay in tonight and squint at the subtitles.
Oh, I've had some great times squinting around at Gav's.
Squint nights.
Come round for a squint night. It's fantastic. Seriously, have you not squinted at Richie Benno?
Squint off.
Until you squinted at Richie Benno.
Yeah.
After 9 cans of cider. You haven't had a night in.
That was a ripper.
And you just squinted him. Okay, do you know what? We've got Andrew with us. He's the mensch on the bench. He's going to give us some predictions. We've got to be so careful here, guys.
Why?
Because we're predicting an England game. And
I know.
It's very difficult to put what you think it might be.
I know.
As opposed to what you want it to be.
Because it's got to... Okay. Could I have a biro? Yes, I can. Colombia. Hey, I don't like Colombians, man.
Colombians.
Do all of the predictions. Because you've got a lot of time in the voices.
Okay, we've got Colombia. They go up against Greece. Play today for play Colombs. Colombia, Greece. Andres, what do you think for Colombia, Greece? Yeah.
I've always liked Greece since they won the Euros by boring the hell out of everyone.
Yes.
So I will say they'll get a point. 2-2.
You're going to go 2-2? Okay, there we go. That's the
bench for the bench.
I always love it when there's any sort of suspiciously good football performances for a team that's hosting World Cups and starts getting good results in Europe around about the time they're getting the Olympics as well. Then after that, they completely vanish. It just stinks of like the eyes. It's all sort of bent, weird. Yeah. Anyway, Gavin, what do you think, man? Colombia or Greece?
3-1.
3-1. Do you know, I was once interviewing George Michael and I asked him what the most amusing thing.
Giorgio Spaniato.
Yeah, George Michael, and he does it. He does the Greek Cypriot thing, blinding. He's telling about an uncle of his. He says, no, the funniest thing is he used to have an uncle, and the way Greeks shorten certain words. He used to have an uncle. He used to say, instead of going, I have to go off down the chartered accountant. He go, you go off to the charting con.
My friend Jack's got an uncle Bandelakis from Cyprus, and he calls a laptop a lamptos.
Does he? That was brilliant.
Why did I do that?
I don't know. You have to go to charting con. Okay, here we go. Colombia versus Greece. I'm going to go. I think Greece are going to win it 1-2. Okay, James.
Other way, 2-1.
2-1. Okay. Uruguay versus Costa Rica. For Uruguay, James.
3-1.
3-1. Gavin.
2-0.
Oh, nice, very good. I forgot that. Mention the bench.
Cat Among the Pigeons 1-1.
Cat.
Oh.
Okay. What is that? Some sort of weird Swindon bingo?
It's a bingo call.
Can I say mention the bench? We're not just doing score draw, which seems to be what you're picking out.
Yeah, he's covering his bets.
The bench again going for another score draw.
The mensch on the fence.
Plymouth versus Exeter. No score draw. We used to get the pools panel sit to decide.
Uruguay 1.
That used to disturb me when I was a kid.
1.
Used to be.
That disturbed me if your team didn't play. And then the pools panel ruled that the other team had won.
I know.
That's not fair.
You don't know that.
You're just making it up.
The pools panel separated those. In that one, Leeds home loss.
What? No.
Away win. No, it wouldn't have been that.
I thought it mattered. I thought that was the point.
Yeah.
But what a laugh sitting in that room.
Yeah, just
doing exactly like this.
Yes.
What do we reckon, lads? Yeah, we'll make that. Okay, Uruguay versus Costa Rica. Still the nicest place I've ever been to on earth. Costa Rica, not Uruguay. I've never been to Uruguay. I'm going to call. No, I've already called that 3-1. James, what was yours?
I've gone 3-1.
You've gone 3-1. I've gone 3-1 as well. Oh dear. I'm going to go. I'm going to kick Steaks. I'm going to go 3-0.
3-0.
Okay, here we go, lads. England versus Italy.
Is it a draw? Bench on the bench?
Surprisingly, I'm going to say 1-1.
Score draw.
Score draw.
This is ridiculously
Johnny?
old school. For England versus Italy, God, I don't know what to do. I'm torn between our own league and wanting just to be positive. But I think Italy sometimes are dodgy on first days of World Cups. They take longer than we do.
Australia did them, didn't they? The year they won
Ireland did it that year. It was my favourite ever World Cup moment. When I was backed into a corner and for some reason found myself supporting Ireland, just happened to be in Italy, and they all slunk off, and it was. I think England could do this.
Okay.
Let's look at my ratings.
We've got a minute left.
Okay. I think. Well, you see, I've got Italy, bigger population, 60. We're down 57. So if you average that out, there's 90 split teams. But on the grounds that our IMF rank is above theirs, we have roughly the same CAF, which means we've got better organisational ability.
Go for the one goal advantage.
Game, I'm going to go for. I think it's going to be just 1-0 here. Gavin,
I'm going to go 2-1.
2-1. Thanks, Gav.
I'm going 2-2.
2-2.
Nice to hear a draw.
Okay, and that concludes the warm-up predictions for the World Cup Weekend 1. I'm going to sign that. The WM9484. There we go. That will go through to Steve.
The DF112.
There we go. Steve, he's in quite a peculiar mood, our leader at the moment.
Anyway, answer that question. Why is it called the finals when there's only one final?
Because you've had the qualifying, and it means you're through to the finals.
And there's more than one game.
There's more than one game.
There's the quarterfinals, the semi-finals.
You've explained.
The final is the final.
Steve, fading down. 1:55, right here on warm-up. This is Talk Sport. We've got every goal, every game, everything that happens in this World Cup. We got it covered here. And do you know what the great thing is? Right here on Talk Sport, you don't pay for it. It's free. You pay for it everywhere else. You don't pay for your radio coverage right here on Talk Sport. It's not like the BBC, where you pay through the nose. No. Free. It's 1:55. Thank you very much to James Brown. Good week, James.
Thanks, John. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, see you tomorrow.
We're back to pick the bones. Thank you very much to Gavin.
Pleasure.
Just remember, you can get emotional today. You really will do. But remember, at all times,
drink responsibly.
Kick football out of football. It's 11 o'clock kickoff. It's a long day. Hopefully, whatever happens, the pain will be blotted out by 12 hours of drinking. Okay, it's 1:50. Drink responsibly. It's 1:55. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. That was the podcast for this week. Just going back to what we were saying before. But that She Stood There Laughing, it gave me goosebumps at the Englishness of it. That someone could bring that, another country would be thinking.
That was the reference.
That everyone else thinking,
what does that mean?
What is She Stood There Laughing? What?
I wonder why did he have it?
Because it's just British. It's just English.
It's very specific.
Sung by a Welshman.
And it's just beautiful. It's just everything.
But what Gavin said about spotting the regional flags.
She Stood
Where
There
I spend
laughing.
a lot of time down. You mentioned Kent earlier, where the dog fights we heard above. There's a town called
Lid.
Lid.
Those dog fights.
Yeah, the dog fights.
Aerial dog fights,
the Second World War.
Yeah.
I live quite near a place called Lid, and there's two massive England flags with Leeds all over it in Lid.
In Lid.
I've had to watch. If I'd known that 7 miles away there were 2 Leeds United pubs, I wouldn't have had to go to the holiday camp.
No, you wouldn't have.
And watch it in the entertainment centre when Leeds were on.
Incidentally, please keep tweeting us all sporterised houses, all workplaces.
England sporterisation.
There's a lot of England sporterisation. It's through the papers today. Please pick out your very best sporterised workstations, houses, gardens, barbecues,
flats, high-rise flats,
good pubs,
cars,
that have been properly sporterised cars.
It's not been as big this year, the sporterisation.
It hasn't.
I mean, I drove in this morning, and the road I drove down, I used to walk with my kid down to the nursery.
Yeah.
We used to count about 50 England flags.
Yeah.
I've seen one in one car. What's happened? Where's all those plastic flags? Salespeople
It's
gone.
expectation, Jim. Expectation.
Yeah, but what about
Everyone's
just
being
the
cagey.
people selling the flags, though?
KG punters. Don't put the flag up yet.
Did you see
Good
Glenn
name,
Hoddle?
good name for a band.
Great name for a band. The KG punters.
Glenn's on a lot, isn't he?
It's a great name for a band.
Glenn is
Not
on,
the KG punters,
on the coverage.
just KG punters.
Is Glenn on the coverage?
Yeah.
Yeah, the players. Themselves, the players. England players.
It's come to fruitation.
Players. No, he did say that. Chelsea Leeds.
Fruitation.
They all come to
I tell you what,
fruitation.
his tan is coming to fruitation.
He's definitely
when he was in
coming to fruitation.
Miami, he's looking very brown.
Man, he's looking awesome.
He is.
Get him on.
He's not a comfortable man in a casual outfit.
No.
Because the others all go polo shirts, tracky bottom shorts. He still wears quite formal. He'll have a smart belt with a shiny buckle, formal trousers, formal shirt, but he doesn't got the jacket.
And that's the end of the podcast. We're back tomorrow. Enjoy it.